So, question.
Yes, ma'am.
What were you thinking when you made that post on social?
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Sammy Sampi. Today we're going to review Love and Marriage Hunstville, who is back. So let's get right into it, guys. The show starts with Marsau and Tisha. They're going out to the restaurant and just having some bonding time as married and wife, and they're catching up. It seems that after the reunion, Marsau said that he kind of went into a depression, so he needed to get away. He took a trip to Africa on his own and left Tisha with the kids. So they're talking about that, and Marsau is telling us that his trip to Africa was really refreshing. It was really nice for him to see people that think differently, and he's coming back to Alabama with a different mindset. He feels like most of the time he's been focused on growing his career and making money, but now he's more focused on having quality time with his loved one. And Tisha is telling him that she was a little bit salty that he went to Africa without her. She's never been to Africa, and she thought that they could have gone together as a couple trip. He's telling her that he really needed this time on his own. Side note, what type of man wants to take such a huge trip on his own? Like, he wasn't trying to go to Miami or something. He went like as far as Africa. That's like a lot of money to get there, and I agree with Tisha, that would have been great if he made it a couple's trip, but hey, we never know with Mr. Marsau, right? Then they talk about also posting a video of the guy in Atlanta, and Tisha is telling him that that's really affected her, and he's telling her that that shouldn't affect her, that she shouldn't worry about the naysayer, and he doesn't really understand what's going on. And I'm like, Mr. Marsau, whenever we left y'all at the reunion, you and Maurice had disagreement because Maurice basically said that he was not aware of the relationship between Martel and Coleslaw. Yeah, we're going to call her Coleslaw here. Thank you, Mrs. Frankie Dineva. Also was telling everybody that Maurice went on the Atlanta trip where Coleslaw took the picture of the guys. Now he's putting the picture to have the last word. That's how I take it, and I think that also was trying to be petty. He didn't want to let go on the discussion that happened during the reunion with his brother, but now he's acting oblivious. Tisha is telling him that by him posting that picture, opinion is that all those guys probably went and were cheating on that trip. So he's being his usual self, and he's telling Tisha that she shouldn't pay attention to the naysayer and everything, and it's really affecting her. But it's like the way the dynamic in the marriage is, Marsau has a very, very strong presence. But a part of me is feeling like, Tisha, if you do not feel comfortable, let him know. It doesn't matter how he feels. He cannot tell you how you should feel. If you feel uncomfortable, you have the right to tell him why you're uncomfortable. But at the same time, I do agree that social media, if you cannot handle the heat, maybe you should not go back and read the comments, because yeah, it's definitely going to do more harms than good. Next, we see Mr. Martel. Martel is going to the gym and he's meeting with Louis. So they see each other and they're working out, and they're basically talking about the last time they saw each other at the reunion. And Paul is asking him questions, and they're talking about the whole Melody situation, where Martel is like, well, he feels that Melody has been cheating too. So basically they were both cheating in the marriage, so he does not understand why people feel like he is the bad guy. Melody admitted that she got a P8 and that was when they were married. But then we see a clip of Melody saying that, well, by the time this happened, they were not together anymore. They were not living together anymore. Now, Melody, as long as you're married, if you do have relationship with other people, it is still technically considered cheating. Now, do I think that what you did is similar to what Martel did? No. I think that what probably happened was that Martel was cheating for years, and you got tired and you decided that you also wanted to get some. I think that at some point they did both cheat, but I felt like it's very hypocrite of Martel to try to now make himself look like he is not the bad guy, and he's using the fact that Melody also cheated, really, or had a relationship with someone else, to say that they were both the same. And I feel like that's very hypocrite of him to say that. because he's maintaining a long-term relationship with Carloslow, and I doubt that that was the same situation with Melody. I guess that is now going to be Martell excuses for this season, is going to focus on the fact that Melody admitted that she got her P8 and use that to basically try to redeem himself, and wants people, you know, to not only blame him. He doesn't want to be the only person blamed. And here is the thing, Martell, you're going about it the wrong way. Like, you should start by admitting that what you did was wrong and you did it for a long time, and that's probably the catalyst of why your wife also went and did what she did. Do I give Melody right? No. But do I understand that may have pushed her to do what she did? Yeah. And let it also be a lesson for all of us ladies. We do need to understand that
some people will never change.
Martell is not trying to change. Martell is looking for excuses. And it's very dangerous to see, because even after he divorced and now he doesn't see his kid as much, with everything that Martell has gone through after what he did, it is still not enough for him to say, you know what, I was wrong and I should not have done that and I regret, you know? No, that's not what Martell is trying to do. Martell is trying to gain public opinion's love by now blaming Melody, and it's trying to say that she was doing the same thing they were doing and he shouldn't be the only person blamed, which is showing us that Martell still has not learned, and he's already over 40 years old, and we have to realize that some people will never learn. Everybody don't get better. Some people would die just as bad as they were when they were living, and that's just how I feel about that situation. We have Martell talking about he's not seeing the kids as much and everything. And yeah, now you have to deal with the reality of co-parenting. You're not in the same household anymore. Melody has several businesses going on, and it's going to take time, especially that you are both not even in a good place where you're communicating well, because you're still trying to blame her, you know? And I don't think that things are going to get better just now. I think it's going to get probably even worse until it gets better. They talk about Louis felt that the other couples were attacking him and his wife, and he doesn't really understand why that was the case. And I'm like, Louis, now be honest. The storyline was talking about the other couple and what they're doing wrong, while not even letting us know about you. And we all know y'all are not perfect, because no relationship is perfect. And it's not like people want to get like dirt on y'all and stuff like that, but your storyline should not be about other people in the show. We have our own eyes to see what other people in the show are doing. People are gonna get tired of you dishing but not giving any information about who you are. We want to get to know you and your wife. Next scene, we have Mrs. Kimmy, who is playing with her new dog, and she seems so happy with that dog. We see Monster, who has grown, is looking so much taller, and Kimmy is telling us that she's having a new dog because the only two things that can give her unconditional love are dogs and children. And I think that was a dig at Mr. Maurice. And Maurice is telling her, no husband. She's like, no, dogs and children. They just love you for you every day. Things don't change. There's no condition. And I must agree with that. So Kimmy goes straight to the point. And we can see that after the reunion, she is bothered. She is bothered because of everything that was said. And then Mr. Marsau posted that picture on Instagram, and she's even more bothered by that. And she's like, what is his point? So there she's having a discussion with Maurice, and she's asking Maurice directly, did you cheat on me? And then Maurice is trying to like be Maurice and have his lawyer act, and she's like, no, I need you to be straight to the point. Did you do it or not? And he's like, no, I did not cheat on the line with the linebacker. Think better about it? I don't think so, but she is definitely bothered. She doesn't understand why Marsau posted the picture after the reunion. The reunion was already intense, and she feels that with Marsau doing that or talking. And here is the thing with Love and Marriage Hunstville. Social media plays a big place in the show. So for her, the court of public opinion is very important. And Maurice is telling her that, well, he doesn't really care what people are thinking, but she's like, you should, because you don't care, but I may not be as strong as you, and those comments, it affects me. because now I have people calling me, asking me if I'm okay and stuff like that. Because Marsau posting this picture and him being your brother is basically like he's trying to say that something was done, that you did something. It does not, and that doesn't make you look good. So even though you don't care, you should care. Next scene, we have Miss Destiny. She's in the studio singing her heart, and I like it. I like the song. It had a nice little vibe to it. And we have Tisha coming in, and I'm like, oh, when did those two become friends? And Destiny is telling us that Tisha and her are becoming closer and closer. And we see them talking, and Tisha is asking her if she's talked to Melody, and she's like, no, I haven't really talked to Melody since the reunion like that. Oh no, actually we went on brunch, but things didn't really go well, and you know, I decided to move on. And if Melody is putting me aside, I'm gonna have to go with it, you know. And then Tisha is acting also surprised. Oh, for real? Oh my god. But then they go back to the reunion, and it seems that Melody's room was close to Destiny's room. So at the end of the taping of the reunion, Tisha came to Destiny's room and they talked their shit. And when they were doing that, they didn't know that Melody could hear them. And Melody was hurt. And Melody and Destiny went on brunch, and Melody told her that she doesn't like the fact that she has that friendship with Tisha because she sees Tisha as her enemy. And Tisha is like, oh,
For reals, I'm so disappointed, I'm so sad.
I really didn't know that this is the view that Melody had of me. And then I'm like, Tisha, be honest. Stop being a hypocrite. The way you and Melody talked during the reunion, you should know that she was salty. You were probably salty. You accused her of trying to like destroy your marriage. Of course she's gonna be offended. Destiny, you know your friend? You said you've been friend with her 5 years. You even said in your confessional that you've seen Melody doing things to people and you never thought that you would be part of them. But the part of me is like, if you know that Melody is easy to get angry, why are you going to do something that's gonna anger her? And you know what? I'm going to be honest with y'all. When I was younger, I was a little bit more like Melody. I was the type of person that my friend's enemy is my enemy. Like, it's going to be very hard for me to befriend someone that I know my friend does not like of. Honestly. Today, though, I'm not going to say that I'm not that way anymore. But one thing that my mom like to say is that you don't want to buy people's problem. So if there's something that my friend, like if my friend has a problem with someone, but it's nothing that is very bad, if the person is polite to me, I'm going to be polite to the person. Am I going to be best friend with the person? Probably not. But am I going to be polite and like talk with the person sometime? Yeah, why not? Am I going to go to the person's room and chit chat and do all that? Probably not. I understand why Melody is upset, because the problem is that Melody just went through a divorce. She's going through a lot. So she's already kind of like weakened. So when you're feeling weak like that, you need to have very, very strong support system. And you're not in a position where you're going to be understanding of why people are doing certain things. And then when you want to add the fact that it's a show and that there's drama and that there's people making friends and then people not being friends anymore, there's a lot going on. And I think that is the reason why Melody decided to distance herself from Destiny. Do I have a problem with Melody distancing herself with Destiny? No. I feel that if Melody doesn't feel comfortable with Destiny's behavior, it's better to distance yourself rather than be around the person and just be mean to them, because that's usually what's going to happen in a situation like that. You're going to be around the person, but you're so pissed off at the person that you end up saying things that you shouldn't have said. Scene, we have Kimmy and Melody. They're going to a wine place and making charcuterie board. That sounds so good. I love a nice charcuterie board. I'm obsessed with prosciutto. They're talking, they're catching up. Melody wants to know if me is okay. And Kimmy's telling her how she's feeling. She's telling her that she does not condone cheating. And if Maurice cheats on her in the marriage, she's probably going to leave because that's a different level of commitment. Then they're talking about Melody relationship with Destiny, and Melody is letting Kimmy knows what happened during the reunion, and she's letting her know that Destiny was talking mad shit with Tisha in the room next door, and they didn't know that Melody could hear them. So Melody went and knocked on Destiny's door and asked them to pipe down. And I'm like, oh, Melody, the nerve. But a part of me was like, I would have probably done something similar. Like, I would have let you know that I know. I want you to know that I could hear you, you know? And so she's saying that Destiny apologized and everything. And I'm like, that is not really what Destiny said to Tisha. But honestly, during a confessional, we can see that Destiny felt bad that she got caught, you know, by Melody. One thing I've noticed is that every time they're talking about the husband and stuff like that, Melody has a tendency to always like making faces and stuff like that. And a part of me is thinking, I know you've been hurt because of what Martel did, but everybody is not like Martel. Not because you got cheated on to the point that you're now divorced, that it's necessarily going to be the case for me nor Tisha. And that's something that I don't really like about Melody. I feel like Melody is not truly healed, and that when this type of topic comes out, she just cannot help herself than to make faces and stuff like that. And I think she should really work on herself and really understand that there are good men out there. Everybody is not Martel. She invites Kimmy to her house because she wants to throw a pajama party. And I'm like, oh, so girly of her. And she said that Destiny and Tisha are not invited. And Kimmy is like, oh. And she's like, yeah, so I'm letting you know because I don't want you to go tell them. And then they think they're invited. They're not invited. And then Kimmy's like, so who else gonna be there? She's like, oh, my friend not gonna be there. She's like, who? Is there anybody I know? And she's like, oh, Tiffany is gonna be there. And from what I saw in the trailer, it seems that Tiffany is Tisha's cousin. So basically, Tisha's cousin is now bestie with Melody.
The drama.
Kimmy's saying, okay, I'm gonna go. I said I was gonna go, so I'm gonna come. But I can see that Kimmy is like perplexed. Last scene, we have the brothers. So Maurice and Marsau, other brother, decided to make dinner and invite everybody. So we have Marsau and Tisha, and then Kimmy and Maurice comes in, and then we have their brother and their wives who are not part of the show, but you know, we can see them a little bit. And when they're all talking and everything, I love how the wife is sitting down and Marsau's brother is like setting the plate and everything. And I'm like, okay, like I like a man that's like doing things like that. It's nice, right? And then as soon as Kimmy and Maurice come in, Kimmy goes right straight for the kill, and she asks Marsau, what were you thinking when you posted the picture? And Marsau was like, well, I wasn't really thinking. I didn't really think that it would go so far. And I'm like, but you should have thought that. You should have known that people would say things. Also being his usual Marsau, well, you know, I don't really care about what people think. And I really don't care because I know that what they're saying is not the truth. And, you know, I just posted it because I wanted to post it, but I wasn't trying to do anything. And me and Maurice are trying to resonate with him and tell him, listen, you know really well by you posting this after the reunion, there would be uproar in social media. And even though you may not care, people around you might care. Did you think about Tisha? And he's like, no, because I don't really care. And I'm like, And then Maurice is like, well, guess what? Last year, there's been several rumors about it. There's been 2 babies that were given to you. What if I've gone and said something on social media or something like that? That would have made you look bad, even though we know it's rumors. And then Marsau is still trying to talk, and Maurice is telling him, there's more that I know in that situation that I never said anything of. And then it stops there. But this is what I want to say. Marsau is so set in his ways, and he's really giving me African man vibe where you're so set, you know, but like your ways are not even the best way. So I have a problem with him not listening to his wife when she's telling him she feels uncomfortable about stuff. I also do not like the fact that Marsau is not being honest enough to say, I wanted to have the last word from the reunion, and I wanted to show the world that you were there and that you were not saying the truth at the reunion. This is why I posted the picture. Marsau was being petty. And my problem with him is that not only he does not want to admit that he was being petty, but he wants to act oblivious. And he's talking about he doesn't care. It's like, if you don't care, why are you posting the picture then? If you don't care about nothing, why are you posting the picture? Basically, that's reverse psychology. You're posting the picture to make it look like you don't care, but you do care, because at the end of the day, you're using social media to your own advantage and only to your own advantage. And you're doing it without even thinking about your wife, about your brother, and about your brother's relationship with his wife. And that is a problem. And I really hope that Tisha is going to stand up a little bit more. You know, like, I feel like she needs to give Marsau's energy to Marsau, because if she doesn't, it's going to keep going. And I feel like only his own wife can really like set him straight, which is the reason why I kind of like Tisha's mom, because this is the type of energy that Marsau needs. If Marsau doesn't get that type of energy, he's going to keep going, because he's been able to do what he wants to do with no repercussions. So yeah, guys, let me know what y'all thought about it, about Marsau's behavior. Why do you think he posted the picture? Why do you think he's denying everything? What do you think is going to happen between Destiny and Melody and the situationship that happened after the reunion? So please leave comments, you know, below. I definitely want this to be a discussion between us. For those of you that are not subscribed, I invite you to. And for those of you that have been here with me since I started, I'm so thankful for you all. And I will see you all next week. Bye.